In this video, we're going to look at how we can change our margins in Microsoft Word. Now, first thing to do here in Microsoft Word, if you go to the View tab, you're going to want to make sure that the checkbox is checked for the ruler. That's going to be the easiest way to see what our margins are set at. So as you can see here, my current margins are set at left 1 inch, right 1 inch, top 1 inch, and if I go down here to the bottom of my first page, I also have a bottom 1 inch margin. So where do these margins come from? Well, if we go into the Layout tab, we'll see that the first option we have is Margins. Now, if we click the down arrow for more, we get some preset margins that we can choose from. If you notice, there's a last custom margin, there's the default normal margin. This should be what is used unless it's been changed when you open Word for the first time. Let's go ahead and choose narrow and watch what happens to our page. If you notice, the margins get set to narrow, and now I have ½ inch all the way around. However, these aren't the only options. If you notice here, we can come in and customize the margins. So I can set specific margins for the top, bottom, left, right, as well as a gutter. And if you're not familiar with what a gutter is additional space put on one side of the page so that when we do things like 3-hole punch, we still end up with the margins and some gutters. So for example, let me go ahead and do 0.5 inches here, and I'll tab over. You notice that it put the gutter on the left-hand side. So if I say OK, we see that that increases this margin. Half of this is margin for a ½ inch, and half of it is going to be the gutter. All right. So I'll go ahead and undo so that we get back to our ½ inch margins. Let's go back into custom margins, and we'll look at some additional options. We can change the orientation of the page through here. Multiple pages, so where do we want to apply? Notice we can mirror the margins. What that means is margin, if we applied a gutter on the left for one page, it would go on the right for the other. An example would be a printed book. There's the book fold. And notice we can apply these margins to the whole document this point forward. Now in another video, we'll talk about section breaks and page breaks, and thus how we can apply different margins to different pages. So there's the basics of margins. And if you have any questions, please review my other videos. Take care.